I am the coordinator of the program called Kindred Birth Companions. Let's give a shout out to SisterWeb. One time, one time, one time, one time. And I'm really excited about this partnership with UCSF Preterm Birth Initiative because it is definitely a disparity that affects people of color here in the city of San Francisco, specifically Black, Latinx, and Pacific Islander families. And those are the communities we serve. SisterWeb is committed to building a community where these pregnant families and their partners are able to get the expertise and advocacy and support that they need. And we know that doula support has been researched and shown to make great changes when it comes to having a positive birth experience. So I am just excited to be here to support each and every one of you and to answer your questions and hopefully give you an overview of what it is to expect. I also want to just say a disclaimer that, this class is not a suitable substitute for seeing your medical provider and receiving care. This is a guide and it's made to support you. We're going to be focusing on low to no intervention births, but we will give some information about, some other things that you may encounter during this birth experience. I'm a Bitmoji fan, so let me share my page with me. This is what I love to do. Being in person and being there to support is a big part of this work. And with this birth in the time of COVID, we've definitely had to shift. Even this forum of being here virtually is a little different for me. So please excuse any of my nervousness and antsiness because I'm used to feeling the vibe. So at this point, I definitely want to, if you are comfortable having your camera on, I would encourage you to put your camera on. I want to see your face. I want to answer your questions. Birth is a very personal experience, and I want to, kind of see what you need and not necessarily just go with the flow of, what is expected. So I know it's Saturday morning and you may not feel like it, and that's definitely fine, but I want to encourage you to do so. So that's enough about me. I would love to know who is in the room and where you're from. So if you can take this time to hit the three little dots on your picture frame there and change your name to your name and your location so we can get an idea where you're from. Just like mine says Marley I, and I'm here in San Francisco. I would love to see where everybody is representing from. This is where I would love to be, in the space of the trees, out in the open. All right, we got New Jersey. I see you, Jersey. And I also want to encourage you, if you have any questions, to just go ahead and put them in the chat box, and I'll be answering questions at the end of each slide. We got North Carolina, DC, Sacramento. Okay. I am so glad that this forum is virtual and we're able to connect all across the country. Hayward, California, I see you, Bay Area. Thank you all for showing up. Now, I want to make this as interactive as possible because, who wants to just be sitting around listening to somebody talk for 2 hours? Not me. That's what I do during the week at work. So I would rather engage and do more here. So we have a poll just to see, ask some questions and see if people are here are pregnant, if they're supporting someone, what kind of birth you have expected. So the poll just popped up and we want to know what trimester you're in. If you're supporting someone who is pregnant, then you can put what trimester they are in. And where do you plan on giving birth? You're going to be at the hospital, a birth center, are you delivering at home? And also, who is your medical provider? Are you seeing an OB, a midwife? Both. Are you planning an unassisted birth? There are so many ways to bring life into this world. And so we want to know. I see we got some birth centers and hospital births, OBGYNs and midwives. Right, we got the whole gamut going here. And a lot of third trimester, half of you all in the third trimester. All right, so the time is now. Getting down to the get down. And we still have people coming into the room. Welcome, welcome as you come in. go ahead and change your name to your place. Davis, California. I went to UC Davis. Shout out to Davis, California. I see you, Paula. All right. Want to keep this poll up for a couple more seconds so we can see where everyone's from and what everyone is doing in their process here. Okay. So we have first trimester. We got about 2 people here in the first trimester, 5 or 6 is going up in the second trimester, and 8 in the third. The majority of you all are going to the hospital. We got 1 home birth and 2 birth center births, and receiving care from OBs, midwives, and both. Thank you all for taking the time to do that. I feel like I know you a little bit better now that we've been able to share a little bit about ourselves. So pregnancy and birth are definitely, let me take the poll down. Here are the results. Third trimester, 50%, hospital, 81%, and OBGYN, 56%. Wow. So, as I was saying, pregnancy and birth are both part of a very sacred journey. It's an intangible journey from the ethereal space to the very material aspect of life. It is the gateway that all of us have to pass through in order to be earthside. And it's definitely something that should be honored and respected. I had an elder who said that in birth, death may walk around the bed 7 times. That's how fragmented we are between life and death. We're very much on that veil. And I want to honor that by just coming into the space and grounding ourselves. I am also a sound practitioner, and I'm leaning very much on breath and on sound in order to keep me present and keep me grounded. And so I would love to bring you into this grounding space and practice one technique that is very good for balance and alignment, which is alternate nostril breathing. And some of you may have practiced this before, and some of you may not. But it's super simple, super easy, and something you can go to in any moment that you're feeling like, I need to come back to center. So let's center ourselves. If you can make sure that your feet are placed firmly on the ground, that your spine is as erect as possible to align those chakras, and that your shoulders are relaxed away from your ears. And just want you to take a deep breath all the way into your abdomen to just clear the space within. You can close your eyes or keep them open, whatever is comfortable to you. And for the alternate nostril breathing practice, there are 2 ways you can do it. But the practice is you're going to be closing one nostril, breathing in, holding that, switching the nostril that is closed, exhaling, and then breathing back into that same nostril, holding, and exhaling on the other side. Some people like to press it this way. My preference is to have your fingers like this, so the thumb is on one and the middle finger is on the other, and it's easy to switch. And you can also bring your other hand up to support it so that everything is centered and aligned. So we're just going to do 3 of these breaths in order to bring us together in this space. Whenever you're ready, inhaling. Exhaling on the other side, bringing it in, holding, and exhaling. One more time, inhaling, holding, exhaling. Completing the circle, breathing in, exhaling. As you come out of that breath, just want you to feel your body. A lot of being through the pregnancy and the labor is being in touch with what's going on internally. And so just take some time to feel your heartbeat, feel your breath. If you have a little one in your womb, feeling your womb, and even sending that breath and that calm energy to the baby. And to close out, bringing both hands together, creating some heat, some friction, and placing that over your eyes for one inhale. Over your throat for one inhale. And exhale. And over the heart for the final. Exhale. All right. So let's get into it. We've grounded ourselves. We come into the space. We know that we're spanning from the West Coast to the East Coast, South and North, all around. So what are we going to be talking about today? My goal is to prepare you for labor in the best way I can in 2 hours. So I'm going to stick closely to self-advocacy and being informed about your decisions, how you advocate for yourself in your birthing place, as well as what to put in your bag. That's a question that always comes up. What do I need to bring with me? We'll also cover the stages of labor and what stages are going to take place at home. How do you cope with these? And when do you actually go to the doctor? When is it time to go to your medical provider of the birth center? When is it time to call your doula? We'll also be talking about some of the interventions and augmentations that may occur as we create your birth plan. You have a certain vision in mind, but as you know, things can change in any moment in life. Clearly, look at us now, all home, sheltering in place. And in labor, there's no different. Things can change, and you want to be prepared to know what may be coming your way. We'll close out with some questions. I have resources for those of us here in the Bay Area, and also a little bit of a to-do list, because we want to make sure that you don't just leave here and say, oh, that was a good class, but that you have some tangible takeaways that you can practice and feel more prepared as we go through this journey.